Hello everybody and welcome to another Experience Kills. I'm joined by Ben and we are going to be going down the dark road of Niffelheim. Hi Ben.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to joining you on this journey of discovery and darkness.
Well good, because where we're going it's pretty much as dark as it gets in the Viking times. So, stay with me. So your avatar, he is, him or her, is actually a warrior who has fallen in battle. Unfortunate. But instead of finding a place in Asgard waiting for you with grogs of mead and chicken off the bone or whatever it is you eat up there and fighting, you're stuck on Niffelheim. That ain't a good place to be in case you don't know your mythology. So it's a very hostile world. It is cold, it is full of deadly creatures, living and undead, and you basically have to survive. You have to keep just plodding along in your afterlife. You need to rebuild your weapons, you need to rebuild your fortress, you need to explore and hunt and get everything to survive. And I highly enjoyed it.
Cool.
Review over.
Short and sweet, to the point. I like it.
Short and sweet, yeah. Have a good day, everyone. Oh no, it was a really enjoyable game. I quite enjoyed it. I do like the kind of survival games. It had a kind of a 2D side-scrolling dungeon crawler feel about it. Kind of remind me of Terraria because there is a mining aspect of it all, where you have to obviously get your resources to build better weapons, better armor. The dungeon crawling in there as well it's not something you can really take lightly in the game because it is quite harsh. Recovering your health and maintaining your food intake and everything is key to your survival as well as weapons. And the first time I went into a dungeon unprepared, I thought, oh, it can't be as bad and as hard as it seems. Yeah, it was. I got killed straight away.
That's really interesting because when I first saw some video and stuff on this and some screenshots on this, I didn't really pick up on the whole crafting Terraria vibe at all. I just saw sort of hack and slash and just going through killing enemies. So there's a lot more to it than that. Like you're talking about base building and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah. So I suppose Terraria is obviously. It has its own aspect when it comes to like mining and stuff. I mean, obviously, it's maybe a bit of a bad example, to be perfectly honest. I only use it because there is obviously mine shafts that you can get down there to find iron ore, to find clay to make pots and stuff as well. And it's obviously a 2D side scroller, so that's kind of why I use Terraria as an example. You can't exactly just dig anywhere a lot of the time. A lot of the dungeons you go to are kind of abandoned mine shafts and abandoned dig sites, which are full of skeleton warriors and stuff. The combat is a little repetitive because there is only kind of one attack that you have there, and there is only block and attack. There's not like a stamina bar and you can stop you from attacking. So you can, if you wanted to, just hold down the left mouse button to attack if you wanted to. But it's the fact that you can be up against multiple enemies and you do have to kind of kite them away a little bit to hunt them down one by one a little more tactically. And the art design behind it as well, I think is actually really quite nice because it's not. It changes with like the armor you put on as well, so it's not as if your character you look at all the time is always exactly the same. He or she is changing quite a bit when you put on new armors. But yeah, the crafting and everything there it's really well done. I find it's not. It doesn't kind of leave you wondering what I need for this. It does tell you need X amount of these to repair your armor. You need X amount of these to upgrade your smithing abilities. So it gives you a helping hand along the way as to kind of counteract the brutality of the combat, I think.
I mean, what I noticed from the art style is it would have been very easy for them to do pixel art, to do what is very everybody loves the low res kind of abstracted art style. Instead it's very clean and it's doing that thing where it's like these very clean 2D sprites that are kind of. It looks like are they articulated at the joints and stuff like that? Is that how they've done it?
A wee bit. Obviously, when they mine like the bricks, the rock underneath the ground, sort of thing, you don't just stand there and then it just digs itself, sort of thing. He does swing his axe and everything. He does swing his sword. He does do everything there. But it is very very front faced though. So, if you move the mouse above his head, he's not going to be swinging overhead or anything. So it is directly in front of you.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think it's. Obviously there's limitations as a small team and things like that, and they've focused their resources where best to achieve something. And I do always respect it when I see an indie studio that hasn't gone down that pixel art route and has actually tried to do something a little bit more artistic. Though don't get me wrong, pixel art can sometimes be absolutely gorgeous. It's just also a little bit overplayed right now. How did you find the setting? Is there any kind of story, or is it more just a case of surviving?
So, obviously, main story, obviously, like I said, you've died, you've gone to this realm, you need to survive, but you need to find your way to Valhalla. So there are certain points, certain dungeons, certain areas that you can interact with. There are quests that can be given to you by NPCs. You can find them in dungeons. There is like a central city where you can purchase and sell some items as well, so you're not completely out in the middle of nowhere. There is some actual interaction as well with other NPCs, so you can start a world. You can stay in one section if you want to, but you can move to a different section instead, where you can set other NPCs with a different difficulty if you wanted to go and raid them, for example, or communicate with them and interact and become like a merchant as well for the greater good as well, which I found quite interesting.
Oh, okay.
Because I played on like a single server, like just for me, and then I tried again with, like 2 NPCs. But I remember going into the other land and not seeing another fortress. I didn't see another base that had been built or anything like that. That area was clearly supposed to be there for an additional NPC.
Okay.
Where I then, brutally stabbed to death, as you do.
That has to be done in a game like this.
Yeah,
it's dog eat dog, isn't it? I mean,
But and as far as like quests go, that's cannibalism, Ben.
Okay, we don't do that. Okay.
So when you're fighting bosses, obviously there are sort of like, some of them are just kind of the larger versions of that creature. Like the king rat is like a 12-foot long kind of rat sort of thing, and like regular rats are about 3 feet sometimes.
I like the way you're saying that as if that's not impressive. I mean, I don't know, if you saw a 12-foot rat, wouldn't you be like, shit?
I've seen The Princess Bride enough times to know how to handle it.
I don't want to fight a 12-foot rat, man. I really don't. Like, that's just not a good scene.
There ain't no rat trap in the world big enough for this thing. But then there are some kind of standalone bosses out there that are very different from your just standard run-of-the-mill larger variant. Those sort of ones will drop a fragment to a portal, which you will then use to get to Valhalla when you get far enough. And as well as that, you will be upgrading your things like your smithy. You will be upgrading things like your oven, essentially, to kind of cook better quality items to give you better health back when you eat that better item. And your fortress itself, and the walls and the towers, you have to keep stocked up as well, because you can sometimes randomly get raided by just NPC kind of attack skeletons. There's a couple of ways of them. Early game, you can kind of fight them off relatively easily, but as time goes on and there are certain aspects of the game that you are expected to do this mission from like the kind of the gods up on high. If you fail to do that mission, they will just send down a big old army of skelly warriors to come and take you down. Oh. And then that's when things really get fun.
Okay. There's a lot more depth to this than I think I realised at first look.
Absolutely, yeah. I had the exact same thing. I was like, okay, so kill these guys, go to Asgard, done. Nah, there's I missed steps 2 to 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, I highly enjoyed it. Absolutely.
So, who made Niffelheim?
So this was developed and published by Elada Games. I'm not sure if they've got too many other games out there, but if this is where they've started, I'm saying good luck, and I highly enjoyed this one, so it's a great start, definitely.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's really good news. I love it. I love to see a little developer, doing something a bit different, something with some depth and some ambition, and that definitely seems to be what Niffelheim is.
Absolutely. So thanks everybody for joining us for another review. I've been Cameron. Thank you again, Ben, for your so deep questions there.
That's what I'm here for.
You can follow us at Experience Girls on Twitter. You can follow Ben at DIYE. You can even follow me on Twitter at Camelot as well. Be ready for some strange content. We will see you next time, Ben. I will see you next time as well. Bye bye, everybody.
Goodbye.